Good morning, everybody. It is week 30 something, I think. I have taken a long break, a longer break than I would have liked to take, but shit happens. So, what's new with me, man? Absolutely nothing, other than you might notice a difference in my tank over here. Long story short, I think there was an illness in either the fish or the snails, and everybody got sick, everybody died. And I was like, fuck, this tank is gross. So I took everything out, the gravel, the decorations, the plants, and trashed everything, cleared it all out. And now I got a little baby turtle named Squirt. You can't see him. He is very petrified. He's only been here for a couple days. He's hiding behind the filter, the green little waterfall right here. But there is a baby turtle in there. And maybe one of these days you guys will see him. But yeah, other than that, nothing new. Anyway, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you're watching this. Also my camera setup's a little different. My camera's over here now because I have a larger monitor and I can't put my camera on top or else it's gonna look like it's pointing down on me like that. Okay, a lot of little new things. So now it's kind of weird because I'm used to looking straight at the monitor and the camera's right back at me. Now I'm looking straight at the monitor, but my camera's over here. It's weird. And I don't like looking at the camera directly like this. I like looking at the screen. I like looking at my beautiful face while I do this. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Today's topic, or this week's topic, we're talking about support. Something as easy as that. And I feel like people don't realize how easy support is, whatever it is. So in my case, I could be talking about support with my brand, my clothing line, my podcast, my streaming, my whatever it is. Or it could be somebody who cooks and makes food and bakes or sings or plays an instrument and makes music or has artwork, whatever the fuck it is. Let's talk about support because I feel like it goes both ways. I feel like people think it's so hard to support something, right? They're like, oh man, like this shit's expensive. This isn't my taste. I don't like this. I'm not going to support this. You don't have to buy products. You don't have to buy people's clothing. You don't have to necessarily watch a podcast. You don't have to buy somebody's food or listen to somebody's music for you to support it. I know, sounds crazy, right? It's not that fucking deep, man. You don't have to spend your time or spend your money to support somebody. It could be something as easy as liking their social media page or sharing their page or showing support online without spending any money or spending any time. It's not that deep. It's not that hard. And on the other end, I think people think, oh, these guys don't buy my stuff. They don't listen to my stuff. They don't support me. That's not necessarily true, man. There's tons of people who I think privately and secretly watch my podcast. And they don't make it a public thing. But obviously I'm getting viewers. I'm getting listeners. So obviously more people than I know are watching my podcast, which is great. If they don't want to publicly share it, that's fine. They're still supporting me by watching it. And then there's also people that spread love on my page. They like my posts. They share my posts. They interact, but they don't buy my stuff. That's perfectly fine too, man. I talk about it all the time. I'm not here for the money. If I could make my clothes and give them away for free, I absolutely would. If I had money to be doing that, if I had money to be making what I do, making what I make and giving it away for free, I absolutely would. That's why I do monthly giveaways of my clothes, because I'm here to spread my name. I'm here to spread the brand. I'm not in it for the money. But unfortunately, it costs money to make stuff, and that's money I don't have. So that's why, shit's not always free. But look, there's people who spread love on my page and they don't buy my stuff, and I'm not hurt that they don't buy my stuff, like, shit's tight. Money's tight for people. I get it. I'm the same fucking way, man. But they still support me. So it's crazy how supporting somebody is so difficult for people. And I've seen it all my life. We can step away from the Black Sheep brand. I saw it when I was working with West Coast, a clothing line in California. There's one specific thing that I remember, and this is again 6 or 7 years ago. I remember asking somebody in my family, somebody I thought I was close to, somebody I thought would support me, whatever I was doing. I remember asking them if they wanted something from our line, from the West Coast brand. I wasn't asking them for money. I wasn't asking them to buy anything. I was simply asking if they want anything. I will give it to them. Support your family members, support this thing we're trying to start, and create and make big. Have a t-shirt, have a sweatshirt, have sweatpants, have something. I'm giving it to you. So I remember I texted them. I'm like, hey, do you and your partner, want anything? I'll get you whatever. I'll give you whatever. I remember just getting a text back, and it was like just kind of like pushing me off, like, oh, we're going out. We're doing stuff. We'll look later. And I just never heard back from them. It's like, really, dude? Really, man? Shit like that is so weak. Because again, like, things don't have to be your style. Things don't have to be your taste. Especially if you're not buying it, man. Like, just take something, even if it gets thrown in the back of a closet. Support people you claim to care about. And then we can step away from, like, brands altogether. We can go back to when I was in high school. I was doing things different than other people I'm close to or used to. People were used to, like, the athletes going to sports events. I wasn't doing that. By the time I was in high school, I was in the big in the music program. I was big in the theater program. It's just little things like that where people act like it's so fucking hard to show support. Wild, right? I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, long story short, there are so many people I know trying to do stuff for themselves. It's hard to do stuff for yourself, man. It's hard to create something from scratch. It's hard to build your brand or your own name in this fucking world. It's fucking hard, dude. And so many people might disagree, but honestly, those are probably people who have just had everything handed to them their entire fucking life. So that's another big thing I see is people show absolutely no support and have gotten where they are by having it all handed to them. And then when people like myself or friends of mine or family members of mine try to do something for themselves, they try to build something of themselves, and they don't ask for any handouts, they don't ask for anything from anybody, they get zero support. Why? I'll never understand. Look, I'm always here to not be specific about things. I'm always here to not be calling people out, but I'll never understand that because it's somebody doing. Here's a great example. And of course, I'm not using anybody's names. I'm not using anybody. I'm not here to call anybody out. Somebody I'm close to, they went to school, did a lot of school, and went into their dream career, right? But because they didn't do it the way other people want them to do it, because it wasn't handed to them and people didn't have control over them, that person who now has a great career and they did it on their own is now looked down on because they did not ask for help. They didn't ask for handouts. Nobody had control over this person. They did everything for themselves to get into the career that they want to be in. And they're now looked down on it because of it. Because they didn't have the help that people wanted to claim to give, or the help that, or control that people wanted to have over this person. It's little shit like that. So, look, my biggest thing is to anybody doing their own thing, whether it's making clothing, having a podcast, streaming games, making jewelry, making food, baking, cooking, whatever it is, making music, whatever the fuck it is. Anybody who is building something of their own, I support y'all. I love y'all. Keep killing it, fam. Because all the people that decide to look down on you for doing something on your own, for thinking you're not going to go anywhere, I've seen it my whole fucking life. I've heard it my whole fucking life that I'm not going anywhere. Because, I didn't finish college, or, I'm not doing what the people above me want me to do. Fuck them kids, right? Anybody creating anything on their own and fucking working for it to become something big, you're fucking awesome, man. And again, I try to support everybody I see killing it out here. I have people who cook and bake and make music and sing and play an instrument, and I got people trying to be like gym influencers on social media. I got people who are trying to stream their gaming. I have other friends who have clothing lines and whatever the fuck it is. I try to support them. Can I pay for everything? Absolutely not. So unfortunately, I can't buy everybody's fucking item, but I share their shit. I listen to their shit. I like their shit. I interact with their shit. And a lot of the time that love is reciprocated and it comes back to me as well. think that's all I got, man. Moral of the story, for real. Moral of the story is anybody listening to this, whether we're cool or not, whether we're friends or not, whether you are very interested in this brand or you just listen to these podcasts to see who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about, whoever's listening, if you're somebody who is truly going somewhere in life by working for it and by being independent with it and trying to build off of nothing instead of having every little thing handed to you and you claiming you got there through hard work, even though you really got where you are by being handed everything, to those people doing it on their own and to those people truly believing on what they have, I support y'all. And I will continue to support y'all. And if I don't currently support y'all, it's probably because I don't know what you got going on. But I would love to support it, whatever it is. But yeah, again, it's not that hard to support people. Not that hard to support anybody, really. But unfortunately, people claim to care about others, but can't show a single ounce of support, a single ounce of love, a single ounce of kindness. Unless it's beneficial to them, unless it looks good for them. You know, I've had plenty of people in my life not talk to me, not support me, and all of a sudden I always hear from others like, oh man, that person supports you, that person loves you, that person thinks you're doing great. Like, wow, I've gone 26 years of my life not hearing it out of that specific person's mouth, but other people want to tell me it's coming out of their mouth. Or, you know, when people don't talk to you, don't support you, do whatever, but then they like post on Facebook like, oh man, I'm so proud of this person. Like, bro, instead of saying it to everybody, say it to that specific person. But that can be another topic for another day, for another week. So until then, stay beautiful, don't judge people, don't be a dick. Peace out, Girl Scouts.